Hello, world. Today is Friday, March 27, 2026. This is a sideshow, and I'm Theodore Parker. Coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky, on the East Coast of the United States. Consider our weather today. Yesterday was up in the 80s, and it was a nice day to enjoy being outside. But here we are on Friday. Currently the temperature is 53 degrees, feels like 50. And we have a freeze warning from Saturday 12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time until Saturday 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Today will be cloudy with rain, highs in the mid-50s and lows in the mid-20s. It is currently 7:27 and sunrise will be at 7:30 a.m. And rain is likely around 8:15 p.m. in this area. Currently, conditions for running is poor. Poor weather for cycling as well in this area, and poor weather for gardening. The AQI is moderate at 64. Pollen coming back in with the spring season. Tree pollen is moderate, no grass pollen, and no ragweed to speak of. The air is dry, which makes us appreciate a good day, and currently we have a light breeze of 8 miles per hour. So again, sunrise at 7:30 a.m., sunset at 7:56 p.m. today. And severe thunderstorms possible in the Ohio Valley through early Friday. So that is the weather update for this area, Lexington, Kentucky, East Coast of the United States. So before we get into today's program, with its headlines and top stories, I wanted to take a minute to talk about something that I'm involved with, and it comes from the world of martial arts, and it's called Tai Chi. All peoples around the world, when it comes to sports activities, understand that it is a competition. And even in the world of martial arts, different schools teaching the same system can be distinguished by how they salute each other or how they salute in their introduction. So competition in and of itself is not a bad thing. And in the past on this program, I've tried to encourage people in the viewing audience to be mindful of their health and to make and keep their doctor's appointments. So not only do most people like to feel good, but they like to look good as well. And that's usually done through diet and exercise. But if you're one of those people who it's not convenient to hit the gym and keep a routine like that, then there is another way to go. And that way is Tai Chi. It's general, low impact, slow moving. You don't need any special clothing to perform it. Regular athletic wear is fine, or whatever's comfortable for you. But over time, Tai Chi has been known for improving your breathing, your balance, and your focus. And as a practitioner of Tai Chi myself, Tai Chi 24 form, I can say that I can see on a personal level the benefits of performing Tai Chi regularly. So that brings us to World Tai Chi and Qigong Day. And this is coming from the Chinese Asian community. They celebrated their New Year's had their New Year's celebration in February for 15 days. This is the year of the fire horse. Not only is the horse significant for the Chinese community, but combine that with fire and you've got something going on. So, to the subject at hand, this year, April 25th, 2026, will be World Tai Chi Day. The full thing is World Tai Chi and Qigong Day, which is also something that I've had the opportunity to be instructed in, Qigong that is. And the thing about it is, with Tai Chi, with the Chinese, Tai Chi 24 is their national form. So it's done the same way everywhere, which in and of itself is a blessing, because from time to time we do see videos of what is referred to as fake masters touting their ability to do this or that. And it's also kind of a safeguard, because if you find somebody that wants to take you on a different path other than the 24 postures that are in Tai Chi 24, then you can safely refuse to do that. So, the disciplines in more than 80 countries will be participating, and this has been going on since 1999. So there's an article about it, about the world of Tai Chi. And it says, our mission, educating the planet on how to boost the world's immune system with scientifically proven natural health practices. Our efforts organizing this global event have resulted in over 1 billion potential viewers and readers of popular media being exposed to Tai Chi, Qigong, and the emerging medical research on these practices. So, World Tai Chi and Qigong Day has been officially proclaimed, recognized, or supported by 22 U.S. governors, Senates of Puerto Rico, California, New York, the Brazilian National Congress, by consulates and embassies from Italy to the U.S., China to India, and by government ministries and bodies in countries worldwide. Events have been held at the United Nations Building and the Nobel Peace Center. On the last Saturday of April at 10 a.m. local time worldwide, events begin, starting in the earliest time zones of New Zealand, where mass Tai Chi and Qigong teach-ins and exhibitions are held that are free and open to the public. Then, as the planet turns, events unfold all across Australia, Asia, Europe, Africa, North and South America, and finally ending this worldwide wave of Qi and health education with the final events in Hawaii. So I just wanted to make you, the viewing audience, aware of this event, since I say hello world. It's something that you can get involved in wherever you are and can learn. And benefit from. World Tai Chi Day, April 25th, 2026. Moving into the headlines for today, Friday, March 27th, 2026. Fact checked. Did Thomas Massey expose Stephen Miller's funneling $890 million to Cayman Islands? So, according to the fact check, these things do not add up. So people are cautioned about AI-generated stories such as this one. Next in the headlines, cards, referring to University of Louisville, lady cards, recognized immediately following state championship win. Since it's here in Kentucky, our sister city, Louisville, congratulations to them. Next, a student faces criminal charges over a weight loss formula. People who used her method are signing petitions and taking to the streets. Excuse me. I've seen this article several times already, and it does have a backstory to it, but at the end it's still promoting a product. So you can, take a look at it on your own time and decide whether or not, you will receive it. Next one, WWE icon sparks fury by urging Donald Trump to send his son to war. It comes after claiming the president staged his assassination attempt. This is all coming from Jesse Ventura, who has served as a governor in this country in the past, and he is referencing Barron, Donald Trump's son, who is reported to be 6 feet 9 inches tall and just celebrated his 20th birthday earlier this month. Jesse Ventura. Next one, the internet calls out Kim Kardashian's parenting after she posts her 10-year-old son doing a dangerous trick on his bike to Instagram. The comment, great mothering. I've not seen it, so I don't know what the content of it is, but I will say this. Some of us think a child jumping up and down on the bed is a big thing. So, Trump telling aides he wants Iran war to end in weeks as he faces other worries, but it may no longer be up to him. So President Trump was on the media talking about Iran gave a big present and it was a great present. And following that story, I found an article that said Iran had allowed 10 oil ships or oil tankers pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So that was supposed to have been the gift that he was referencing. Next story in the headlines. Gang rape victim Noella Costello Ramos, 25, dies by euthanasia after grieving supporters gather and mom's final goodbye. This is out of Barcelona, and it is kind of a tragic story. This young woman had been raped, gang raped, most recently, and had been raped before. And as a result of the gang rape, she was incapacitated and confined to a wheelchair. And she had other medical and mental issues going on. So it was her decision, to end her life. So there's always cautions about suicide, ongoing and continuous. But as much as people opposed it in her family, her decision was the one that won out. Department of Justice faces renewed scrutiny over claims it asked New Mexico officials to halt 2019 investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's ranch. There's been a little back and forth about this. The ranch, Zorro. But I also read an article that as early as 2007, when Jeffrey Epstein had been charged, around the time that Jeffrey Epstein had been charged with soliciting a minor for prostitution. And as I said at the time when I first mentioned it on this program, that you might read it different ways depending on who's reporting the charges. But investigation that was going on around that time into Jeffrey Epstein had reached a federal level, according to this article that I read. And it was not accepted on a federal level and pushed back to a state level. So again, it's not that there are not people in the positions of responsibility that have not brought this evidence forward as a result of their own investigations, but it has just been, as the expression goes, buried or pushed under the rug. But things do have a way of coming out. Next one, Mark Zuckerberg is building an AI co-CEO as part of his continuing mission to free himself from the burden of human interaction. Excuse me. As the article pointed out, instead of consulting with other people in his organization, company, and business, Mark Zuckerberg is seeking to design an AI co-CEO, which he will interact with for anything that he wants to pursue. And number 10 in the headlines, One Lexington plans to expand survivor support services. This is an organization that I have mentioned in the past on this program for their success with youth. And this will be services for individuals and families affected by gun violence. It has been published in the news recently here in Lexington, at least, that One Lexington is looking for their own location, whereas currently they are in the government building with Mayor Gordon. Top stories for today. Number 1, Epstein files shed new light on what prison officials were doing the night he died. So, in this article, in 2019, both Tova Noel and Michael Thomas were charged with conspiracy and falsifying records, indicating they had checked on Epstein every 30 minutes as required that night. In case you missed it, there has been mentioned in the news that there is some lost footage or no video footage of Jeffrey Epstein's cell prior to him being pronounced dead, supposedly from having hanged himself. Charges were later dropped against Tova Noel and Michael Thomas in 2023, as it was established that the cameras in the prison weren't functional. So now Tova Noel has been asked to testify before the House Oversight Committee. Excuse me. Netflix raises subscription cost. See new monthly prices. Netflix will increase the monthly price of its ad-supported tier by $1 to $8.99 per month, and the ad-free plan will increase by $2 per month. Next one in the top stories. Housing giant Fannie Mae to accept crypto-backed mortgages for the first time. At this point, I'm going to reference Donald Trump's comment in regard to housing prior to Iran. And I specifically remember reading this, and I'm not going to say what he said, but his comment in quotes was F housing. And that was just prior to being involved with Iran with Israel. But it does give an opportunity for me to kind of discuss rent, mortgages, and increases thereof. Some of us, and I have myself, found myself in this position that when the rent goes up, we do feel it. We have all kinds of explanations for it, but the truth of the matter is that, especially with people that rent, and I imagine it's the same with mortgages, but especially with people that rent, the rent increases are allowed yearly. That's supposed to help the landlord keep the property manageable, to maintain the property, to put it as simply as possible. But it is not just an individual thing. It's considered like by districts, so that everybody gets affected the same at the same time. So the process is, when you first move in, you're a little bit below the tier for what that property calls for as far as rent is concerned. And then the next year you will experience an increase. And then the third year of occupancy, it will come up to the level that is comparable for all properties valued the same way. So your individual attention does not affect what the rent will be or the rent increases. Next one in top stories, the Oscar ceremony is moving from Hollywood to downtown LA in 2029. Driver plows through airport gate onto airfield, sneaks onto plane before police takedown. This was in Florida. Trump administration opens investigation into race and admission at 3 medical schools. Medical schools Stanford University, Ohio State, and University of California, San Diego are the schools involved at this point. And the Assistant District Attorney for Civil Rights, Department of Justice, Hamid Dillon, Dillon, announced the investigation on X. I will say this, that how Ohio State has been found to be involved with Epstein through their gynecological department. I think it was found out through investigations that one of their staff was receiving $25,000 every several months. I guess for checking on the health of the girls that Epstein had involved in his sex trafficking. Nemesis calls out Democrats disingenuous claim Trump wasn't a factor in Florida upset. Emily Gregory's recent election upset and win is what it is referencing, which, because it's Mar-a-Lago, where President Trump reportedly goes on the weekends away from the White House, is included in this district that she has won. Next one in top stories, how to watch the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 of March Madness 2026 for free and without cable. Major outgoing CEOs are citing as a factor in their decisions to step down. And this happened Thursday on CNBC's Squawk Box. The 2 CEOs that are mentioned are Coca-Cola CEO James Quincy and former Walmart CEO Doug McMillon. And they are saying, from their perspective, that their companies need new energy. And this is based on how AI is moving. And number 10 in the top stories, veteran 83 allegedly shoved onto NYC subway tracks dies from injuries. Illegal migrant charged with murder. According to Homeland Security, Richard Williams, a retired Air Force pilot, died March 17th after he and another man were allegedly pushed onto the tracks at Lexington Avenue 63rd Station days earlier. So that concludes the headlines and top stories for today, Friday, March 27, 2026. I'm Theodore Parker. This is a sideshow. That's it. Hashtag.